Hey guys, and welcome back to Gravy's Brewery with me, Gareth Goes Gravy. And guys, for this video, as you can see from the title, it's that time again. Grain to glass video time. And today, I'm going to be brewing up a London Bitter. Now, oops, didn't mean to do that. Now, this is a recipe that I got out of the Bible, the Greg Hughes homebrew beer. Those of you that got it, you probably know which page it's on. I'm not going to dawdle too much trying to find the page. I want to keep this part as short as possible. So anyway, that's what I'm brewing up, and for those of you that know me, it's just going to be a 1 gallon batch. Here are my grains. Don't know how well you can see that. So we have very simple malt bill. 870 grams of Pale Malt and 86 grams of EBC 150 Crystal Malt. Now, don't know how well you can hear it. You probably can actually, and you can probably see that I have my strike water coming up to temp. Coming up to where it needs to be for the mash. So again, keeping this part fairly short. I'm going to come back once I've got the mash on, just as I'm about to set the mash off. It'll just be the 1 hour. I've also got my hops and my yeast in the fridge and freezer respectively. You'll see them as and when I will be using them. So again, I'll come back for the next bit when I've got the mash on, and you'll be able to see what's what from there. See you in a minute, guys. Alright guys, we're back, and as you can see, my grains are in, water is up to temp. Got this mash temperature to just under 65 degrees, 64.8, which I'm pleased with. If I can consistently hit around about 64, I'm a happy man. So as you can see, all that's left for me to do for this part is to get the mash on, cover it, yeah, couple of tea towels, not the best, but it's what I've got. That's all I've got, so well, gotta go with what you've got. So that's the mash on. I'll come back to you when we're about ready to add the first hops. And this is a 70-minute boil. This is a 60-minute mash, I should say, so it has just gone 1 o'clock local time in the afternoon here in the brewery. So again, I'll be back once we're about to hit the boil for the mash, and I'll reiterate this again come when we're about to do the mash, the hops, the boil. The boil will be a 70-minute mash. Can't exactly think off the top of my head what the hops are at the moment. Again, those of you that know the recipe for this from the Bible, from the Greg Hughes book, you'll know what they are. So, well, that's the mash on. See you in a bit, guys. Right guys, we're back, and as you can see the boil has well and truly been on. As a matter of fact, by the looks of it, just in time for the hot break. So I'm going to have to turn that down a bit, quite down a bit actually. In fact, let me just break that up, just try and get to a bit of a rolling boil fairly quickly, because as you probably saw, that foam was just about on its way to going over the side of my pan here. So first off in this boil, and as I briefly mentioned in the last part, and I will reiterate this again at the end of the video, this is a 70-minute boil, and first off we have 6 grams of Challenger hops. This goes in for the full 70. And then throughout the rest of the boil, well, it's a fairly simple hop schedule. At 10 minutes there is Fuggles, at Flameout, EKG. Can't exactly think off the top of my head what my specific measurements are for each of those. As always, my recipe batch, or my recipe, will be in the description. So anybody out there that might want to brew a small batch of this, you'll be able to. And as I referenced at the beginning of the video, this is from the Hughes book, so if you want to do the full batch, find it in there, and you'll have the ingredients, the recipe there. Anyway, as I said, this is on for 70 minutes now, this boil. I don't think I'm going to come back and show you the other hop additions. It'll be a bit too much to have to set up the camera again, just in order to do very small clips for the additions. So next time I'm on camera, I'll be transferring this into my fermenter, pitching the yeast, getting you a temperature, starting gravity, and a potential ABV. Again, as I said, I'll be pitching the yeast on camera, so you'll see exactly what yeast I'll be using. So there's not much more to say right now, guys, so I'll see you in a minute. Hey guys, we're back for the final part of the brew, or the grain part of this video. Can't really see it very well, but to my right here I have my fermenter, my phone for my tilt, and a couple of other little pieces. To my left here, and I'm just about to get it to show you, is my gallon of wort. And behind me I've also got my yeast ready. I don't think I mentioned what yeast I'm using. I think, well, it'll be down in the description. It is a Wyeast London ale yeast, I believe it's called. Anybody that's familiar with them, with that yeast I should say, you'll know what I'm on about. Again, as I said, all the information to my recipe will be down there in the description. Anyway, there's just a little bit of work left in the pan, so just pop that to the side for a minute whilst I prepare the tilt. Goes. Give us a few seconds here, guys. Just want to make sure that it settles. (1042) at 21.7 degrees Celsius. I'm pleased with that. As always, down in the description, as and when the numbers are finalised, all the info will be down there. Oh well, again, hope you enjoyed this part of the video. I do apologise that I did miss a few steps out. As I mentioned, a lot of it was just popping hops into my kettle. You didn't really want to see that. Right, so the next bit will be the last bit. It'll be the glass part of this video. So again, keep your eye down there for updates, and well, you'll see this. Well, yeah. Anyway, as I said, be back very soon with the final part of the video. So see you very soon, guys. Hey guys, we're back. Very quick update. As you can see, a few days later, here is the bottled product. I've just this minute finished bottling the beers. Don't know why you can see it, but there are 6 beers there. And just to give you a little preview, which I will obviously once again show you at the end of the video. 4.9%, 25 IBUs, and with a bit of luck, those bottles are full to 400 ml. Right guys, well, once again, let's give these a few days, a week, 10 days to clear up, and I'll be bringing you the final product very soon. See you soon, guys. Hey guys, well, we're back for the final part of the video of this grain to glass of the London Bitter. So, well, let's not beat around the bush. Let's tell you a little bit about it. Well, for the first time ever, I'm able to show you the specifics of my home brewing. Just a little label, nondescript label that I came up with, but there are the particulars for those of you that like to know this stuff. I got it to an ABV of 4.9%. The calculator that I used, the bitterness calculator, IBU calculator, lack of a better word, brought my bitterness to 25 IBUs, and as always, with a bit of luck, 500 ml of beer in this bottle. The only other thing I can tell you about it, which I am actually looking at on my computer, so you'll have to forgive me. This, as of right now, has actually only been in the bottle a week, and I must admit as well, I have actually had a bottle. It's not too bad. It wasn't too bad when I tried it a couple of days ago. Let's just hope that in the couple of days since, or the few days since, it has somewhat improved. Anyway, here's a pour. And here is my bitter. Nice little head. Not as fluffy as you'd expect with an English bitter. Those are usually served, I think, on nitrous. Somebody correct me down there if I'm wrong on that. For these, I'm just using the carbonation drops that I usually use to carbonate my beers. Carbonation, well, again, might be the glass that I'm using, but unlike a usual English bitter, this is a little bit more carbonated than you'd expect. Colour is a little bit slightly darker on camera, but that is actually almost spot on for an English bitter. A nice dark copper, light brown, dark copper, or dark copper-ish beer. Again, that you'd usually expect from a lot of English bitters, especially some of the bigger name ones. Anyway, I'm sure you want to know what it smells and tastes like, so that's what I'm going to go in for right now. Let's give it a nose. And straight off the bat, what I'm really getting is the maltiness from the malts. The aroma is more from the malts rather than the hops. There's just a slight hint of fruitiness coming through from the hops. But again, really just getting a maltiness. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh yeah. Oh, that is actually improving. And on the flavour, very malty. Lives up to its name in bitter. Again, that's probably due to the carbonation caused by the glassware that I'm using. On that, it's not all that harsh. There is just that bitterness from the carbonation. Other than that, nothing much in the way of bitterness from the hops, or yeah, bitterness from the hops. Not really anything descriptive in terms of the flavours from the hops either. To say that I used, I think it was 3 different hops. I can't exactly remember what they were off the top of my head. You'll have seen them earlier in the video. But I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with that, and I think I will be brewing it again. And I think something else I'm going to do is, I know I've done the Yorkshire bitter recently. I think I might brew both of them up and compare them, which might be a video a little bit later down the line. But yeah, that is a good one. I'm definitely going to be brewing this one again. Alright guys, well, that's all I've got for you for now. For this particular grain to glass video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you were able to, find this video again informative. Hope you enjoyed watching the process and seeing that a pretty decent beer has come at the end of it. As always, if you have any general comments, questions or queries about the drink, drop them down there in the comments. We'll get some discussion going. And for all the brewers out there, if you've brewed something similar to this before and you got the flavours and aromas that I did, let me know down there and we'll talk. And as always, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my recipe down there in the description. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is a recipe that I got out of this book. Don't want to dawdle trying to find it right now, but those of you that have it, that have that book, you'll be able to find it. I will say, definitely give it a go, brew it up, and hope you enjoy it. Right guys, well, that's all I've got for you for now. So until next time, from the brewery, from Gravy's Brewery, this has been Gareth Goes Gravy. I'll see you later. Cheers.